Hello and welcome back. In this video, we will discuss your self-assessment grid for evaluation. We will also look at your skill building dashboard. So let's begin. Pull out your self-assessment grid for evaluation. As you recall, you use this grid when you work with Michelle in talking about your written communication. You also use this grid in discussing your presentation skills with Kim. As you recall, in this grid, you came up with your competencies and the critical task that was needed. You also had some standards or some benchmarks, and you had some assessment and also some evidence for your written communication and your presentation skills. Now that you're apt at building upon the self-assessment grid for evaluation, I want you to take a look at your selected job criteria and pull out those other competencies that is needed for your selected job. And as you have discovered those competencies, add those to your self-assessment grid for evaluation. Please note the importance of adding your benchmark or either your templates to your T portfolio. Those are always going to be the best practices for the field or industry. Moving on to your skill building dashboard. Now remember, your self-assessment grid for evaluation gave you a present job market value score at the bottom. It also gave you a graph, better known as your skill building dashboard. And I want you to look at that graph based upon after you have added all your competencies and gotten your score. Your graph should show those areas that you're already competent at, also the areas that you need improvement. For instance, if you recall in the previous course, we talked about the traffic light. The traffic light has three lights. It has your red, your yellow, and your green. And so the red means that you have no proficiency, no skill in this particular competency. Your yellow means that you might have some, but for your selected job, there needs to be some improvement. The green means that, hey, you're good to go. I am proficient to the level that's needed for my selected job. Now, as you go back to your skill building dashboard and look at the graph, it's a horizontal graph, you can see, for instance, if you're at written communications, you might have an 85 to 90 score for that. But maybe somewhere else in problem solving or team building, one of those other competencies that you have selected, you might be at a 50 or a 60. And so it's clearly to identify those areas in which you already have the competency to the different level that's needed for the job versus those that you need to improve upon. As you have discovered what needs improvement, what you need to build upon, or where you need to totally add to a competency, make a note of that because we're going to use those things as we progress forward in this course. So what have we learned? We learned the importance of the assessment grid for evaluation and how to add other competencies to what you have already built upon, such as your written communication and your presentation skills. Also, we discussed the importance of continually to add to your T portfolio with the best practices or benchmark or the experts. We also learned how to use your skill building dashboard and discover those competencies in which you are very good at, those you need to improve upon, or those you just need to add to because there is non-existent or do not exist. So what's next? We're going to continue to build upon these things that we're learning and introduce what's called a 360-degree self-assessment. Again, thank you.